Today we are cutting through the noise and looking at the top 10 most exciting new games for the Switch 2. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any Nintendo news, and let's jump straight into the games. The crossover we have all been waiting for just got incredibly hot. The Embers of Chaos expansion is taking the massive survival crafting foundation of LEGO Fortnite and dropping the Ninjago universe straight onto our islands. Just taking a glance at the background of this fight here, you can see how the Switch 2 hardware handles these massive draw distances without breaking a sweat. We are getting brand new fire abilities, elemental combat, and entirely new enemy types that force you to change your tactics. You can even build massive airships now to traverse the map. The performance holds up perfectly, even when your village is pure chaos with intense fire effects and fast-paced block-building action. It really shows the upgraded RAM of the new system. If you love the cozy but action-packed vibe of Fortnite, jumping into this update to unlock those exclusive Ninjago rewards in the new LEGO Pass is an absolute must right now. Alright, let's talk about a major redemption arc. We all know this iconic hero shooter had a seriously rough start on the new hardware, stuck with a locked, frustratingly low frame rate that made competitive play a nightmare. But a massive post-launch patch just went live alongside the new Summit season, and it is a total game changer. If you pay attention to the rapid camera movements and ability tracking on screen right now, you'll immediately feel the difference. We are finally hitting a flawless 60 frames per second in both docked and handheld modes. It completely blows the original Switch version out of the water. They also finally fixed custom key bindings, and that completely broken inactivity bug in Stadium mode. With the new hero Sierra joining the roster, the input response, especially if you use gyro aiming, is so sharp that it's the absolute perfect time to jump back in and rank up. This right here is easily the co-op game I am most hyped for on the Switch 2, and it looks like a complete masterpiece built exclusively for Nintendo's new ecosystem. You and a friend play as Maki and Amura, two young space explorers trying to save their home while navigating a dangerous cosmic storm. I mean, pause for a second and just appreciate the sheer dedication to this aesthetic. It is a pure love letter to 80s and 90s retro anime with hand-drawn animations and thick, vibrant lines that make it stand out from anything else on the market. The asymmetrical puzzle solving looks so clever, like one player using a scrap hook to pull platforms while the other jumps across. But the absolute best part? It fully supports the new game share feature on the Switch 2. That means your partner does not even need to buy a second copy to play with you locally or online. This is going to be the ultimate couch co-op experience this summer.
Every aspect of the game has been designed to promote communication.
Wrestling fans, you finally have a solid reason to celebrate on a portable console. While past wrestling ports forced us to deal with missing features and terrible loading times, WWE 2K26 on Switch 2 is an absolute powerhouse. Yes, it uses some dynamic upscaling, making it slightly soft in handheld, but they packed the entire massive experience onto the hardware. Over 400 superstars, the CM Punk narrative showcase, and the glorious return of chaotic inferno and dumpster matches. Notice what is happening in the menus in this clip. They actually utilize the full touchscreen and mouse support for the Creation Suite, letting you paint faces and bodies with total precision. With Season 2 adding legends like Demolition and Kelly Kelly, being able to split the Joy-Cons for instant local multiplayer, or grinding the My Rise career on the go, is undeniably the best way to sink hundreds of hours into the ring.
Contrition comes the axe, and here comes the smasher. Damn, the contrition.
We are just days away from stepping into the blazing heat of the Algerian desert, and this survival horror masterpiece is about to look terrifyingly good. Amnesia Rebirth is getting a completely optimized native version specifically built for the Switch 2. This is pure psychological survival where you play as Tassi Trianon, managing your fear levels while navigating ancient ruins. Keep your eyes on the deep shadows and heavy contrast in this specific sequence. Playing this on an OLED screen, rationing your light sources while running from unseen horrors, is going to be incredibly immersive. The studio promised peak performance, meaning 0 frame drops when you are desperately hiding in a pitch-black cave. If you love games where survival means pure fear, rather than grabbing a shotgun and fighting back, grab some headphones, turn off the lights, and prepare for an unforgettable nightmare.
Oh, no, come on, you won't stick.
If you've been looking for the ultimate cozy survival sim to scratch that Animal Crossing itch, Dinkum just got a massive glow up. The developers literally just shadow dropped a dedicated Switch 2 edition to celebrate their anniversary, and it is a completely free upgrade if you own the original. Taking your town building to the Australian outback has never looked better. You can clearly spot the upgraded texture quality and improved foliage density as the character runs through the wilderness here. It blends farming, crafting, fishing, and town building, but with way more danger and wildlife than your typical farming sim. They even added native voice chat support so you can easily coordinate with your friends. With the new Animal Tracks update fully integrated, giving you even more to explore beyond the early game, this upgraded edition will absolutely dominate your free time. We finally have the Evolved Edition dropping natively on the new hardware, bringing this terrifying VR survival horror straight into our hands as a fully realized flat-screen first-person shooter. You play as ex-colonial Marine Zula Hendricks exploring an overrun facility on Perdan. Just taking in the volumetric fog and particle effects in these dark corridors, you can instantly feel the claustrophobic tension. The best part? The developers gave us 2 graphical modes. You can choose a stunning quality mode locked at 30 FPS, or flip over to a buttery smooth 60 FPS performance mode. Listen closely to the spatial audio and that terrifying beep of your motion tracker. Managing your pulse rifle ammo on the go is a completely unmissable experience for any sci-fi horror fan. Let us completely switch gears and talk about something bright, vibrant, and surprisingly deep. This indie RPG skips the usual fantasy swords and dragons, following 2 sisters, Samara and Amani, who team up with an ancient spirit mech to take down an evil fast food empire. It sounds wild, but the story gets incredibly emotional, diving into heavy themes of family, tradition, and the cultural value of sharing a meal. The way these vivid colors and expressive character models pop right off the screen during the village exploration is exactly what you want for a Nintendo console. The turn-based combat is super engaging, requiring perfectly timed button presses to block incoming corporate goons. Playing this on the Switch 2 definitely speeds up those loading times, making the journey feel seamless. It is the perfect cozy story-driven RPG to take on the go.
I'm going to punch you in the face.
Watch out!
Listening goddess.
The hilarious cooperative chaos we have all been watching online has officially landed on Nintendo consoles with a massive shadow drop. It's time to gather your squad, dive into the terrifying old world, film the absolute scariest monsters you can find, and try to get famous on SpookTube. They launched with full cross-play support, meaning you can easily team up with PC players, and the proximity voice chat works flawlessly on the Switch hardware. Watch the absolute panic unfolding in this footage right here, Hearing your friends scream from across a dark, procedurally generated hallway while being chased by a bomber or a snail monster is pure comedy gold. With the frame rate cap completely removed for the Switch 2, it runs incredibly well in both docked and handheld modes. Grab your camera, manage your oxygen, and get ready to go viral.
Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna get that.
Finally, we are heading to the Deep South with Hazel, and this third-party narrative adventure is an absolute visual trip. We are talking about a gorgeous stop-motion-inspired art style mixed with dark American folklore, bluesy atmosphere, and creepy monsters called haints. Now, I have to be completely honest with you guys about the performance. If you play docked, the dense environments and cinematic lighting look fantastic. But if you take it on the go in handheld mode, you are definitely going to notice some fuzzy resolutions and frustrating frame rate drops during chaotic combat. However, pay close attention to the incredibly fluid, stylized animation once her magical glide abilities are unlocked. The soundtrack is an absolute masterpiece that dynamically adapts to boss fights. If you can look past a few technical stutters, this dark, haunted fairy tale is an absolute must-play.
I'm always fast enough!
Take this and go find your mama.